Welcome back, everyone. And this week we have a very special guest on our show, rapper, songwriter, and artist Gloryuss. Enjoy.
As we travel the universe.
So, Glorious, what have you been up to since you last came on the podcast?
Since the last time, obviously that time I dropped the van, so like my debut project. Since then, obviously coming out of lockdown, just getting back into the live shows again. Released a few more projects last summer, and yeah, now back to summer again. I'm gearing up for the next album, man. Can't wait.
So, in terms of stuff that you've done, you've had a few firsts since you last came onto the podcast. I think you had your own headline show and everything. How was that?
Oh, fucking incredible. I should have asked if I can curse on this, innit? But I guess we can edit it out if any.
No, you can go for it.
Yeah. But no, definitely, man. I mean, I've been highly blessed. Like since the last time I was on the podcast, like I've had quite a few landmarks coming through. Headline shows, radio plays on more mainstream radio. So yeah, I mean, it's the result of hard work and just really like kind of knuckling down. At the end of the day, like this is what I do. I really live this. Like this is my passion. So it's nice to see these opportunities kind of, I wouldn't say falling into my lap, because like I said, behind the scenes there's a lot of hard work going into it, but starting to see something coming back from it, basically. Yeah.
For me, it's like once I saw the radio plays, and do you know what I mean? It becomes quite real, because it's like it's not just you pushing it now. Do you know what I mean? It's like independent people.
Exactly. No, for sure, and that's what it is as well. Because it's like at the end of the day, like I always say I'm living in some like dream world. That this is like I'm actually doing what I love and doing it at a higher level. Whereas, say, if I'm making music, I could easily have like 2 or 3 of my close friends with me being like, yeah, like you're glorious, you're fire, like keep doing your thing. But when you're getting recognition from strangers, and when it's strangers that are lucky enough, strangers that are in like these positions as like a DJ at fucking BBC Agent Network, or a talent agent at like a booking agents company or something like that, it's like, okay, when you see getting recognition from like different people from outside of like your immediate like kind of people in your everyday life, then it's like, okay, cool. And more so it's people that's in that industry, in that game, I guess. So yeah, like it's just like I said, I'm highly blessed and just thankful, man.
Did you like at the start of the journey, could you have seen yourself be here? Like, did you envisage it and aim for it, or was it like this organic thing that just grew out of what you've been working on?
Yeah, you know what? Like I always have that mindset of trying to manifest these wins. At the same time, it's like I feel like you can sit there and you can vision things and put things together in your mind and do things like that as much as you can, but at the same time you got to put in the work behind it. Like literally, that when I say I'm working on this every day in some capacity, whether it's contacting people, whether it's writing, whether it's coming up with ideas, whether it's looking for different opportunities to try put my name into different rooms that my name's not in already. So it's always like it's a cycle of always trying to like level up and put yourself in position to receive these blessings and receive these opportunities. It's not something that happens just like that kind of thing. And the main thing is, I mean, I have that belief like in myself, and more so recently in the music that I've been putting out, having that kind of belief in your art and in your craft, you're more willing and more, it motivates you more to push it to these people that are like, I don't know, like DJs or label heads or something like that. It just gives you that bit more motivation. Like, yeah, like if they hear this, like I need everyone to take me in. I'm breaking down these doors now. You get me?
So, speaking of breaking down doors and the kind of journey you've had from releasing songs online to now you're headlining your own shows and everything. What does it feel like the moment before you go on stage? What does it feel like when you're on stage? And is that something that maybe makes you nervous? Because we've all come from similar kind of backgrounds. I can't imagine going onto stage the way you do in front of all those people and not at least being a bit petrified. How does it feel to be on that stage?
You know what? Like I do get asked that. Like, do I ever feel nervous or anything like that? And you know what? Like from my first performance 3 years ago, up until now, the first few times I was crazy nervous, but in recent times, like especially the last like 12 months or so, it's just more excitement rather than anything else. It's just more like I'm just itching just to get on and just like do my thing and just like have a good time with everyone. At the end of the day, it's like just like with everything, like going out there and building up the experience. Like I said, my first show 3 years ago at Fiddler's Elbow, like I was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but you have to start somewhere, innit? And at the end of the day, like everything comes with time. And when you're truly passionate about something and you put your mind to it, you just enjoy the process, like just like with anything in life. But this is my passion and this is my form of expression. So performing music and being able to kind of like show off my sounds, like my thoughts and who I am as a person, like it's a great feeling, and I see it as like a form of excitement. And even with people that like you guys have been in attendance as well, and it's like I want my performances to be enjoyable for everyone watching, which ties into the style of music I make. That's why, like, I mean, my headline show at Camden Assembly, I made that conscious. I always make that conscious decision to state like we're all headlining, like this is all of us here, like, you know what I'm saying, this is all of us together, we're all Gloryuss in every sense of the word. This is our show, so I want to make sure like this is just like an enjoyable experience for everyone, and I'm on stage just living it up, man. I'm just having the time of my life, to be fair. So yeah.
Yeah, we were at your last show, and like I'll be honest, like you know, sometimes you go to a show and you can feel that people are performing. Do you know what I mean? Like they're actually performing. But with you, when you were there, I felt like I was in a jam with you. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was part of the show in a sense of
mission accomplished. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I'm not watching someone do a performance which he's like practiced. I feel like it was a whole experience. It's a whole, do you know what I mean? The whole package. So this is what I love about that. Like exactly what you said is what I got from being down there, you know, watching you perform. So it's quite refreshing. Do you know what I mean? Like because sometimes you go to things and it's forced. Like I didn't feel it was forced. It was bare natural. It's quite impressive. And I guess you did XOYO as well, right?
Yeah, XOYO as well. I was doing main support for the headline. That was another incredible stage as well. Like because going to that venue in the past just to watch other acts and that, just to be on that same stage performing is just sometimes, like even up until now, certain landmarks like that don't even like really register in my head. Even the Camden Assembly headline, I try to take in as much as possible because I look back in it and I'm like, damn, like was I really on the headline stage at Camden Assembly? Like I remember going there with Tony. Obviously you guys know Tony. We went there maybe like 2015, and we went there to watch. So I'm a bit out of breath right now because of this COVID thing, but I think it was Chip, Rich 3-2, and he brought on like Stormzy, and when Stormzy was first bubbling, it was like 2015, like when he first was kind of like making a bit of noise. And we were there watching these guys just like shedding it down. And that night, you think I would have thought to myself, yo, like 7 years later, you be on stage at headlining? Like crazy, like no way.
It's a massive progression, man. It's huge.
Yeah, nah, and I appreciate that, innit? And I appreciate the support as well, man, like always, innit? So yeah, man, we're living it now, man.
I know this might be a bit of a political question, innit? You don't have to answer it, but like, no, it's not even too. Don't worry, it's not even too deep. But you know, obviously, you've headlined a few times now. Is there one venue, let's say, that you have a particular? Let's not say it's the best venue you've been at, but is there one that you hold particularly close to your heart, or is there one you can really pick out and say, oh, that one there? I mean, I know you just mentioned, you know, watching some of these greats on stage and not realizing that you'd be on that same stage a few years down the line. Like, was that your favorite memory of your performances, or is there another one maybe?
As in out of the previous performances, like which venue held
venue, which moment? It's up to you. I mean, I know it's a bit of a political one. You don't want to, you know.
Not at all. I mean, it depends on what standpoint. So I mean, in regards to, let's say, performance wise, I feel like maybe X or Y, close second was Camden Assembly in regards to me performing, as in my like choreography or just vocals or anything like that, just in general. But that could change because I look back and I study it like quite a lot in it. In regards to like what venue meant the most, that's a tough one because I mean, like I said, XOYO was actually the first concert that I ever went to watch was at XOYO. So every venue has like a story. I just told a story about the Camden Assembly one. The O2 Islington, it weren't the main stage, but it was still second stage and main support. That felt incredible as well, going to O2 Islington. So they all have like their own kind of story, which is great. And it's all like tying in to like, oh yeah, like this venue had history of this venue, history of that venue. So it's hard to pick a particular like moment or venue, but combined together, like I just look back at it like, wow, like I'm really like, it's really coming to fruition, everything. So yeah.
Obviously, like where you are in your life affects your music, and you delve into kind of that moment in your life in every album. Where you are at the moment now, has that translated into your current album that's going to come out?
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely like to paint a picture and paint a timeline of where I'm at in real life and really translate that through the music. So I mean, with this current album, it's called Not Another, which is actually a Senegalese word which translates to dance in English. So it's a dance album and like summer sounds, etc. And I'm calling it like the soundtrack to the summer and shit. So but like ultimately the goal hasn't changed. Like I still want to make people feel something, like whether that's through my words, my story, or from a musical standpoint. But like on this particular album, that I played with like a bit like some new genres like drum and bass, and it came out pretty well, I believe. But it's literally me talking about, say, for example, the start of the album, the first few tracks, I'm a bit more harsh in my lyrics, just giving off the whole narrative of maybe finding it hard to find any valuable and trustworthy relationships around me as an individual, and having that kind of barrier there. Then by the end of the album, we come to a conclusion where, okay, I'm open and I can have a bit more faith in maybe letting other entities in, like other situations, other people, friends, business associates, whatever it is, in any capacity. So that's like the journey of the album. But at the same time, it's all told through these sounds, like these dance sounds. So it's drum and bass, garage, Afro beats, house. Like it's not like, say, I don't know, it's not like a rap beat and I'm just spitting like 64 bars in it, like telling like stories. It's just a subtle storyline throughout, but you're going to be dancing to every song, whether it's track 1 or whether it's track 7. It's still going to give off the same vibe, you know? Because right now, I mean, I'm creating like this album. Like, I feel like it's my best piece of work. And even though, like I said, even though I'm giving everyone anthems and stuff like to dance to, it's still illustrating where I am at this point in my life. There's still that story. And me creating at a higher level right now, it's just going to sound even better on the ear. Like, I mean, right now, yeah.
To be fair, that's very interesting. And I just, sorry to cut you off there, but when you first came on, I remember you were talking about how, with every album you want to improve, which you have shown, every piece of work that you put out, you improve.
Thank you.
Each one. But you also mentioned something I thought was interesting in the first time you came on the show, where you said basically, I might even end up doing country music by the end of my music career, because you didn't want to be kind of put into the box of this is his genre and this is what he does. And so now you saying that you've kind of transitioned from what you were doing before to this is more of a dance kind of album. Is that something that we can expect from you going forward, where you'll be trying out different genres again and again?
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, like with Gloryuss now and with the direction that I'm going in, I feel like since then a lot has happened, and I feel like I've kind of shaped more into the direction of being in the dance world, actually, to be fair. And even if it's other genres branched off that. So like, for example, in 2022, this album coming out now, I'm doing drum and bass. I've already released a single for it, so it's out, but it's on this album. That's an example of me doing like a different genre. Next year or the year after, I don't know, I might jump into some more, I don't know, maybe like deep house or maybe like jungle or something that's, again, just branching off the dance tree, if that makes sense. Because I feel like right now I'm here like to kind of stake, like, I want to stake my claim as like that guy when it comes to, like, say, the dance world and that fusion of rap and UK garage. Like, I mean, recently a journalist called Gloryuss a garage MC, and I'll take that. Like, I'll take that all day long, because I'm trying to take over that garage world with my modern twist in it. And at the end of the day, I'm a UKG baby. I grew up on UK garage. So don't get me wrong. It's not to say like in a month or two you won't see me pop up with a drill song or one like catchy Afrobeat anthem with Kado Kadra, you get me? But I'm just here like a bloody big kid creating and putting together these ideas for like these beautiful songs. And yeah, I just love it, man. But definitely that different genres, especially categorizing off that dance world, man. I'm here for it now, man.
Like, I appreciate the fact that you're brave enough to take, do you know what I mean, different steps, and it kind of, like you said, it's painting a story through the music instead of through the lyrics, which a lot of people do. Like the way you dedicate the sound to that era or to that album, and like it's something, at least I've noticed with the musicians that I like. You know, they evolve; they don't stay the same. And you know, whether you get love or hate for it, brother, just keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
One thing I remember is when Skepta was like releasing different tunes, and do you know what I mean, ends weren't really feeling it, but in the end, he's the winner. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's the one that was actually true to himself, and I love that still. And in this album, like one of my favorite pieces you've made was like Blinded. I thought that was so beautiful. Like,
thank you very much. Yeah.
Especially when you performed it, like, you know, when it's live and you really feel it from you and from Princella. That was like crazy. So like, I think my next question on that is like, you tend to pick your collabs really well. And I'm wondering, like, do you look for certain things? Like, do you look for a sound or is it a vibe with the person? Like, how do you go about your collabs?
Excuse me. I feel like with all my collaborations, they come pretty organically. I mean, like with Princella, we connected online, and she actually pulled up to the Essence listening party last year, which you guys were at. The rest was history from there. We spoke that night about potentially working, and Blinded was the first time we did work together. And for me, like, I'm here with the hot takes today, man. Me, Princella's voice, she has the best voice that I've ever heard in my life, like, ever.
She's amazing.
Like,
she's
ever,
amazing,
bro. Like, guys, like, when I tell you, like, fam, like, and on Blinded as well, like on that garage, like that melody she hit on that garage song Blinded, and then I'm coming in with the deep voice on the garage bass now, like that was different, innit? That was different. But yeah, back to the collabs. I mean, everything usually works out organically. I mean, on the album, I have Merenisa, who we've got a garage song together, and her, like, wait till you guys hear her as well. Like, her vocals are incredible. I met her a few times at one of my people's events. Shout out Fia Wolf, by the way. She puts on like these music and art exhibition events, and out of all the events that I've been to, like with music and art, like, she hands down puts on her best ones. But yeah, I met Merenisa there a few times, and that's how we kind of connected from there. I've got another artist called Kado Kadra, who's on track 2 and track 5, I believe, on some like Afrobeat anthems. Again, I connected with him last summer at one of my shows, and we said we'd get to working one day, and now the time was right. So it's all organic. Another artist that I've got on there as well, actually, is Alexandra T. Like, we done a house song. We met through a mutual, and I'm doing some cool stuff with her surrounding her events too. So she's cool peoples. But the process for the collabs and how I actually decide, like, I'm there really writing down like song structures, like putting together like a movie. I'm just like writing choruses and versus sometimes I don't sit and write like a full song. I might just write like a chorus or like a bridge or something and whatnot. And I think to myself, you know what? It's like writing a movie and being like, okay, I want this character to come and do this and play this part. I'm like, this chorus would sound great with Princella on, or this verse would sound great with Merenisa, etc. And take it from there. And I send them the stuff, and then the process is usually pretty smooth from there. One thing I actually want to shout out all the features on this album, because first of all, it's all new features, apart from Lex Stokes, but me and Lex are like a duo, man. Like we've been from Divine Days, innit? But I want to shout out the features because they all made the effort to travel down to the studio where I recorded at North London. Now, some of these people are from out of London as well. So I think Kado drove like just under 2 hours, bro. Like, and I was like, yo, that's love still. Like, he came down and I was like, yo, to anyone, if it's long to travel or schedule wise, I don't mind you recording your stuff and just emailing it to Maxwell, like at my studio at Hit Run, and we can like mash it together and that. But everyone made the effort in it. But yeah, it's definitely a very organic process, I would say. Yeah.
No, it's very nice to see that obviously you're all up and coming artists and you're actually trying to help one another. And what I've kind of noticed is with a lot of artists, they either they don't want to bring anyone on, or when they make it in the mainstream, they kind of cut off the people that they came up with and stuff. So it's nice to see that you're actually helping one another and you're shouting each other out. As you said, you and Lex Stokes, you got a lot of projects together. So yeah. I mean, would you ever maybe in the future consider dropping a joint album?
Yeah, so we've put out a short project together. I think it was back in January now. At the moment, she's dropped another project since then, and something dropping next week, I believe. So potentially later down the line, I'm pretty sure we're gonna work on like another, like maybe like a full length album or something along them lines. Like we always got ideas for each other, and I'm on some of her stuff coming up too. So me and Lex are like, yeah, we go together great, man.
Another question I had actually, because when you were talking about, you write a verse here or a chorus there or whatever. What is that process like from start to finish of you writing a song? So just pick any song in random in your upcoming album. From the initial idea of the song, how is that conceived to the end point? And I mean, do you have like a notepad with loads of songs that we've not even heard yet? Or, are you someone who gets an idea, sticks to that idea, and until that song is either it's a make or break for you? How does it work? I'm just trying to understand your process a little bit.
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. It's all relative to the song, and every situation is different. I mean, like on Not Another coming out, I mean, like for example, track 2, All I Got, which is with Kado Kadra, that one I just started writing when sometimes personal stuff happens in your life, and you might go through like a little personal conflict, or you might wake up one day and leave the house, and then you get into it with someone or something happens, and that just inspires like a verse. It's crazy to say, but it can inspire something. And sometimes like going through certain phases and going through certain feelings and emotions, and you just feel like the best way to express myself is through the writing. So in other instances, someone might, I don't know, get out like a journal or a diary and write how they're feeling today and write today's date. I'll just like put that in maybe like a verse, but make it like, just make it sound like as smooth on the tongue and as melodic as possible, and put it together that way. So it just really depends on the situation, where the inspiration comes from. I mean, sometimes I might hear a beat and be like, yo, let me just write like a catchy hook to this. Like I could write a verse and leave that song alone and come back to it, I don't know, like 2 months later. Or
I do get what you're saying. I do, because I mean, in a way, that the way I relate to that is, for example, as you said, I mean, I've got a journal, I've got, a drawer, whatever. So it sounds as if
your drawings are cold, by the way. Incredible.
I mean, it sounds as if you kind of use your music as a way to kind of express how you're feeling, and as somebody like myself or maybe Steve might turn to like, I don't know, write a journal or something, you turn around to write a piece of music, which is quite it's quite an interesting thing, because my mind would never go there, but obviously we're all different people, and for you that's how you vent through your issues, I guess, which I get. It also shows in your music as well, as you said, it's very personal to you.
Most
and each
definitely.
album is personal to what you're going through at that point in time.
Exactly. It's very therapeutic, and like you said, it's just a way of expression. It's a beautiful way to do it, to be fair. Yeah.
I think for me, it's like you go beyond music though, because I don't know whether other people realize, but everything you release, like the imagery, do you know what I mean? Your Insta posts and like
yes,
album cover, do you know what I mean? It's a whole story. Like it's not, I don't know, this is my personal opinion. When I look at it, it's like it's not about the music, it's about the story. It's like about the whole package, you know? The music bangs, the music, like you said, is like a movie. Do you know what I mean? You're picking out the right people, the right sounds, you're telling a story, but then everything around it that surrounds it is also like, you know what I mean? It's tailored. It's not just like stupid thinking of, oh yeah, just put this together and throw it out. Like I can see it in your work. So yeah, man, this is something I really appreciate for your craft.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, because I'm glad you noticed that and pointed it out, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something right, because a lot of the time, even when I look at other artists and I listen to other people's music, and whether it's, I don't know, in the UK or across the seas, I look at it and like, I consciously, everything that I do is conscious. Everything that I do is on purpose. Everything that I do is strategic. So like, I like to package certain things the right way. I could put out this album July 1st, and if I don't package it right, it won't get taken in the right way. Like I could call it something completely different. The artwork can be something that doesn't represent it that well or anything like that. And I'm telling you, like, people won't receive it the same way. And it's crazy to think that the artwork might define people's perception of the music, but it's true. I like to package everything, the concept, everything, all very nicely and very fitting, and then give it to you that way. Like when I was a kid, I used to love just like sketching and going over like album covers and stuff like that. Like it's just something that's just like in me. I just like to package everything and kind of make sure it's presented in the right way for people to absorb, you know?
It's interesting you just mentioned about your childhood there, because my next question was actually going to be, you know, growing up or even right now, it could be a current artist or whatever, but who's your inspiration for all this music? Do you have a particular artist that you draw from, or artists that you draw from? Who would you say kind of contributed to making Gloryuss who he is in terms of music?
That's a very tough question. I mean, it's tough to say and put it down to like one artist or a few artists, but I get inspiration from a range and a host of different things. I mean, growing up, like listening to music from a young age, like obviously helped a lot, and something that I always was fascinated by, like growing up, even like from early stages, like looking on the TV and seeing like, I don't know, bloody like Pharrell Williams and 50 and all these people, and just taking in the stuff that they're saying and thinking, raw, like this is like Eminem, all these people kind of thing, you know? And then growing up and actually getting into the whole music thing, you learn to appreciate like different artists and different from different genres and stuff like that. I grew up on a lot of course, like as you know, like a lot of old school garage as well. I would say it's hard to like put it down to like one, or there's so many different artists. I mean, like Tyler the Creator for me is like he's a music nerd, and that's why I appreciate that. I get inspired by that, because it's like he gets it, he understands. Like someone like Kanye, he understands. Someone from the UK that I'm truly inspired by is Chip, because he literally epitomizes what a musician is in regards to being versatile. He sounds comfortable in everything. Like he's jumped on garage, grime, drill, rap, everything, and he sounds comfy as hell on literally everything that he steps on. And it's not like a false thing or anything like that. Like it's genuine talent. And when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, that inspires me to dip into different waters and to do different things and that. But there's so many inspirations like as I'm going along. But I try to like obviously kind of just take it in, and at the same time remember that you don't want to limit yourself as well. And at the end of the day, like, you just want to keep pushing forward and maintaining. But yeah, like, there's hella inspirations, man.
No, I hear that one still, because a lot of the artists you mentioned, obviously we grew up listening to, so we get a kind of feel on that. But like nowadays, a lot of artists are kind of jumping off the. Well, I don't know. That's my perception in it. They're jumping on the easy win, like grab an old tune that was a hit, take a sample, spit on top of it. Like, do you think that's freedom that they should be doing, or do you think that's like crossing some line of like creativity where it's just it's too easy? Like,
yeah, I know it does. I get exactly what you're saying. It does sound too it does sound too easy, and I don't know how freely I should speak on this now, but I mean, some of the
don't
stuff,
get him in hot water, relax.
It's my opinion.
No, it's all cool. I mean, like, a lot of the stuff that I do here now, like, the sampling does sound quite lazy, and it does sound like quite easy to do. I mean, if you're in these positions and signed to these labels, I guess it's easier to get a hold of these samples and get them cleared. But if it's executed in the right way, then there's no, like, and it sounds good, I guess it's no, like, I ain't got no slight with it. But sometimes, like, when it's being overdone and when it's like, it just sounds very lazy and stuff, you look at it and be like, oh, that's a shame. You know what I'm saying? That's a shame. And it's like, it feels a bit force-fed as well. But I definitely feel like there's some, I definitely hear you, because I feel there's some mad wave of just like bare sample songs coming out right now, especially in the UK.
Yeah, I was going to ask you another slightly political question there then. With regard to like the commercialization of once underground music genres, whether it be hip-hop, garage, grime, whatever, you're seeing a number of people who, I mean, they may be industry plants, they might not be, we don't know, but they are very industry in the way that they make music. And they seem to try and, you see, again, this is my opinion, they seem to have tried to formalize music and say, okay, if you have X and Y components, you're going to get a hit. And, what we're seeing is the same type of music being produced that is made specifically to chart. I mean, what's your, I mean, that's how I feel. I feel like that's what's taking over UK music, and I feel it's kind of holding us back. Whereas before, UK music was more of a pioneer for, these underground genres. Now I feel as though other countries' music, maybe like France, for example, French rap, I feel like is further ahead than British in terms of trying new things. Is that something that you would maybe agree with?
Yeah, so I mean, in the UK scene, it's a funny one, because I feel like there's a lot of great music out there in terms of, I don't know, rap or UK hip hop, grime. I feel like it's not getting enough light shone on it at the moment. I feel like maybe it's being kind of, it depends. It's like you turn on a radio, you kind of hear the same thing in rotation, like kind of over and over. And I definitely hear the fact about the like being formalized and being made for, say, I don't know, TikTok, for example. I feel like it's definitely there's definitely people out there that do have that conscious decision of, okay, let me try and make something for TikTok, or make something to blow on this side or this side, and just make some bread off it. And you know what, like, I'm not even going to come across as a hater. I'm just going to be like, do your thing and get your money in it. But at the end of the day, I feel like there needs to be a balance in the scene. I feel like there's, like I said, there's tons of talent. Like when I think like in the UK, I look at people like A2 and Nux and them people, and they're like representing for like the artist. You know what I'm saying? So that's inspirational in one sense, but it does get drowned out a bit, and especially if like, I don't know, like for example, say if someone's like on a day-to-day like working, and they're just like, they only have time to just quickly chuck on the radio, or they don't have time to sit. Not everyone has time, like even like myself as well, I don't have time to sit down and kind of like always go through and go out there and find music. Sometimes I just got to just chuck something on, or I open my Spotify app and see what pops up on the advertising thing, and it's being force fed to you. So it just depends on like the labels and who's running it and what's being pushed, because I feel like there's like good good music and different alternative music out there as well, like that represents the artist better.
Yeah, I mean, you're a better man than me because you see me, I'm a big hater. I would be hating right now if I'm being honest. And like in terms of like, I was gonna ask you, for example, someone like, I don't know, a KSI who has a massive following that's built off of making FIFA videos on YouTube, can suddenly decide that he wants to do rap. He does the whole formulaic thing and gets a number one single. I would, if I was in your position and I was an up and coming artist, abundance of talent, trying new things, trying to really like create a body of work that is unique in and of itself. If I saw that, see, this is the hater in me. I'd be hating. I'm going to be honest. I'd be cussing man down because I just feel like, you know, they've built their platform on something else and they've used this formula. And as you said, like when you go onto Spotify and everything, Spotify pushes whatever label has paid them the most money, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Via their algorithm to, you know, to the general population. How does it feel as an up and coming artist when you see stuff like that? I mean, again, me personally, I'd be fuming.
Speaking specifically on KSI, I'll be honest with you, I've never listened to a KSI song in my life, and I don't plan to.
Nice.
I stay far away from that. But like I said, if people are eating off it and it's like, you know what I'm saying, they're making their money, they're making their dough, cool in it. At the end of the day, like I ain't gotta respect it or listen to it in that sense. I'll just like do my thing over here, and in this world that I'm in over here, like I know people are winning. Like some of the names that I mentioned earlier. And it's like the people that do it that way or go that direction, like the KSI guy you mentioned, stuff like that. Like I feel like it's just stuff like it's here today and it's gone tomorrow kind of thing. You know, like it's not stuff that's gonna really like stand the test of time. It's pretty much like just for the trend kind of thing, you know. So I just like I don't really like I said, I haven't heard a KSI song before, and I don't really listen to like that type of that stuff over there. So I just really just focus on like the other world in it and just keep pushing it there, man.
But I don't know, sometimes I think about it and I think about like maybe it's not that deep because like imagine you grow like organically, you do really well, you become like this super talent person, and then you shift your attention to, I don't know, making fragrances. I'm sure like fragrance aficionados would be like, oh, who's this Don? Do you know what I mean? Why is he even bothering with fragrance? Blah blah blah. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm giving him a bit too much credit, but
that's a good point though.
When I see like KSI, obviously he was a video creator and his content was unique. Do you know what I mean? His content was like 1 in a million, and that's why he ended up so big. And obviously he's gone into other stuff now. But maybe the question will come to you like apart from the music, and we also know, you know, you're also into fashion, and you know, you released your own line. Like, do you see yourself as more like a creative person in reaching to other fields, or is music really your thing for now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I feel like I do see myself as more as a creative and as a brand. Even I see Gloryuss as a brand, and of course, as you said, with the clothing and the music, I feel like it'll always come back to the music, because I feel like the music's kind of like the foundation of everything, and that's genuinely like my passion. I feel like people might use the music to jump onto other things, or film or television or anything like that, and because that's their real passion. But for me, music is the foundation and my real passion, so I'll always be based off the music. I can't predict what I'm going to be doing in, I don't know, 5 years or 10 years time, but most definitely I'm going to be delved into a lot more different things. Like I'm pushing this clothing now. I definitely want to look at different ventures and even like just like increasing my value even in the music world, but without being a recording artist. Like I might look into, I don't know, like maybe producing. I might look into maybe even like DJing. I don't know. Like I want to really just kind of like really just throw myself in there and branch out. But I definitely got the knack in my mind of like the business side of things as well. So stuff like clothing and stuff like that, which are yeah, that's something I definitely wanna keep pushing, and I do see myself as overall more than a music artist, like as a, like you said, like a creative. I see myself as a brand. Yeah.
You man ain't hating as much as I am. I can't lie to you. You need to get your hater game up, man. I can't lie to you. You ain't got that hater blood in you. I've got to be honest with you.
Not like you, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, come on. You got to get on my level, buddy. I actually,
I
actually did want to ask you a little bit, kind of moving away, not too much from the music, but obviously we want to find out a bit more about like who you are as well as a person beyond the music and everything. So myself, growing up, my culture definitely affected my perspective on life. Yeah, and you're quite unique in terms of you're, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, you're Sri Lankan and Greek, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So that's quite a unique mix of cultures.
Yeah.
So what was that like growing up? You know, what was it like being a little Gloryuss running around in this kind of mixed household?
Yeah. It was obviously like you said, it's a unique background, which I'm blessed by, and I feel like with my upbringing and my background, it was still fairly westernized, to be fair. I mean, like my mum was born in London and my dad was born back home in Sri Lanka, but he came here when he was, I believe, I don't know, 6 years old, 8 years old. So he was brought up in Tottenham, and it was kind of like they weren't. It was quite a westernized upbringing, to be fair. In regards to just like mixtures of families as well. Like on my dad's side, I got quite a mix. So I got cousins that are English, Jamaican, Sri Lankan. So it's quite a diverse and coming through a family and a family unit of everyone being quite open-minded and modernized and westernized. It wasn't really one of them ones where like, I feel like it's definitely an interesting mix because like there's different, even though the cultures are different, like I feel like they're quite similar as well, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, it's just it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Does it kind of explain your collaborative nature then? Because as you said, you know, if you've got such a mix of cultures and everything, I guess it makes you more open to the rest of the world.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, it's very like open-minded and very like just not narrow in the lens of thinking and just the mentality wise in it. But I'm definitely proud of the heritage and the culture, man, for sure. Like repping always, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, I remember during the launch party, you know, like the food there was also like, culturally diverse.
Yeah. I ain't forgotten the food, man. I ain't forgotten the food. I'll never forget the food.
Yeah. But like, I appreciate that still. Like I see it in your, I feel like also in your art and do you know what I mean? You get this angle which not everyone has, and I feel like maybe you have like a certain insight in life that allows you to produce this. Because you know, you pick anyone up from the street, they don't necessarily have that creative perspective. And maybe that was molded by, you know, your upbringing and, like you said, you know, the different cultures in your house, but not too strong, but like all influencing you in this unique way.
No, most definitely. I feel like I've picked it up along the way, especially like from a young age, you know, like just having that that creative side to me, and obviously like with my parents and my family, like just allow me to kind of step forward and be that and show that kind of creative side, and just all ties and comes full circle now, like with the music and stuff. So yeah, most definitely, man, most definitely. Even with the Lead of Love, a fun fact actually, the Lead of Love logo is actually the Sri Lankan flag in it, the same colours. So it's like the yellow. Yeah, that's how the inspiration came with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and you made like a Greek song, didn't you? Like
yeah, actually the Greek song was actually it was actually my nan.
Your nan, yeah.
Song. Yeah, so I sampled her at the start of my first project. Yeah.
That's mad. I didn't know that actually. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool. That's
she used to sing as well back in like the 80s and stuff. So yeah, she was
well.
Yeah. She was well chuffed with that, man. When I put on my first ever album, like, I just chucked her in there, like I played it to her and that. In fact, I think you might be able to find that on my Instagram. I don't know if it's on like not Reels, there's another one. I think it's Reels or like IG video or something like that.
We gotta go on the dark web and find
Nah, I'm sure it's still there on the Instagram with it, but I got like a recording of like just playing it for the first time in it. So yeah, no, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, yeah.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, all of this stuff, like, of course there's like the business and of course there's like the career stuff, but at the end of the day, like we all die, do you know what I mean? And these little moments, and like, do you know how special it is when you make that, like sampling your nan, and like it's insane.
Legit, like that sentimental, like them sentimental values as well throughout the music. Like I make sure like I always like that's just me as a person, like putting it into the music. Like I mean, last where we now, not the International Women's Day gone, but I think last year 2021, I put out a video, music video of a song called "The Woman Must Shine." At the end of the video, I literally put names of like all the women, or tried to put names of all the women in my life, kind of thing, including family, like friends and stuff like that, and just to like as a tribute to like literally celebrating all the women on that special day, stuff like that. Because I can be quite a sentimental person in real life. I like to translate that in to the music as well, as much as I can, and just these moments like mean more than anything. Sometimes like one with my nan, like come on man, that's like beautiful stuff.
No, that's amazing. I actually didn't know that. See, stuff like that adds layers to the song that you know. Now that we know the backstory of it as well, it adds more layers to the music as well. So that's I didn't know that. That's a really cool thing to do, I think.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I was gonna actually I was gonna kind of ask you in terms of, I know this might be a bit of a redundant question because you are actually pursuing it, but if let's say music wasn't a thing that you were going to pursue, if let's say you know, maybe let's say a younger Gloryuss was told, nah, forget all that, don't do it. Would you have gone down, you know, a completely left field avenue in your life, or you know, where do you think you would have been? Do you think you still would have stayed within the creative field, or?
I probably would have been, if I didn't take up the career of music, I probably would have been up front for Arsenal, getting us in the top 4 this season. You get me?
Boy,
no, I'm joking.
You probably would have done a better job than Lacazette, man. Come on.
No, I played. You know what? Like, if I didn't go down the music route, I'm pretty sure I would have been in something creative, bro. Like, it's just in me to like. I just got too much inside my mind, and like even now I'm just fidgeting. Like I got too much inside me. I need to just like express and just let stuff out, man. Whether it's like, I don't know, any form of creating, like, I don't know, any form of art or something in that creative lane. It has to be something creative. 100%. I would have found something and latched onto something, like 100%, definitely.
Yeah, I do find that that is a common thing within anyone who's in any creative field. I actually recently saw like a TikTok of Kanye West when he was 16. He had drawn art for a show of some sort, and it was literally in every media, and it was to like a top-notch level. Like he could have actually genuinely become an artist. So obviously when people call him a genius and everything, I guess it kind of stems from the fact that no matter what he does, he's A, fantastic at it, and B, he's always within that creative sort of field. So it doesn't surprise me that you say even if it wasn't music, he would have been in some form of
something
expression.
creative, man. Yeah, that guy gets it, man. That guy is literally like, you could tell he breathes and lives this like to like down to the T, man. And I respect that. And that's why like him as one of my inspirations as well, like 1,000%. Like that guy, he's really about it. Like you could tell he's really about it. Just from the stuff that he says in his interviews, you peep it, like you just take it and you're like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, this guy he's really about it. He's serious, man. So yeah, like he's super inspiring when it comes to like that, expressing yourself as a creative and that.
Yeah, I feel like with Kanye, whether he blew up or not on music, he would have done it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because it's more than just a career. Like he's about that life. So I feel that. I guess like we're coming up towards the end of the pod, and maybe one last question or maybe announcement. So like looking into the future, what can we expect? What should we anticipate from you?
So yeah, of course we've got the album coming out July 1st, Not Another. Just gearing up for that one now. After that, literally I'm just going to be focused on just like running the album, man, and just make sure it's getting out there and doing the right things, like promo wise, and just pushing it really. And I really want everyone to kind of like live with this album, like people around me, just like pushing it out just for everyone to live and really like enjoy it this summer, man. After that, I haven't really got any shows confirmed and booked as of yet. I might have something a bit towards the end of summer or going into the autumn. But right now I'm trying not to think ahead too much. Sometimes like I overstep it a bit. I need to just focus in on the now sometimes. So right now I'm just literally focusing on the album. And yeah, really just pushing that, man. That's the main focus right now, man.
So July 1st, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Spell it out. So when someone wants to actually search for it, what should they write?
Yeah. So it's NATANAVA. So it's pronounced not another. I'm probably not pronouncing it right myself, but
fair enough.
So that's actually a Sinhalese word. So it's Sri Lankan. It's Sri Lankan native. So yeah, and obviously, like I said, it translates to the word dance, which obviously is a dance album. So
it's available on all platforms. Under Gloryuss, GLORYUSS. Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah, so we're on all the platforms: Spotify, Apple, Tidal, iTunes, everywhere. July 1st, as soon as it hits midnight, as soon as it's July 1st, that'll be out, man, and available to stream everywhere, man. Yeah,
you heard the man. Get to it. Pre-save the link. Go to his Instagram. It's Gloryuss as well, right? That's your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's Gloryuss _ on all my socials. Yeah.
On all your socials, cool. So go follow him. Go listen to his music. Go pre-save that link. July 1st. Natanova comes out. I've probably butchered the pronunciation myself.
You sounded right, to be fair.
They'll do right. Thank you, buddy.
One more time. Go one more time.
Natanova?
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
Come on, man. I'm a man of the people. Come on.
Come on.
Thank you for coming on, brother. And
thank you for having me. And I just want to say like a big shout out to you guys, man, on all the progress and all the work you're putting in. Like, keep shining, keep growing. Pause.
Thank you, brother.
I'm saying keep doing your thing, man. Like, I see you, man. Good.
Steve, why didn't you say who said having fun and being serious can't go hand in hand?
That was bloody brilliant.